Saudi Arabia performed public executions until recently, but it is unclear if this practice continues. In 2022, no public executions were recorded. As of 2024, despite the increased number of executions, Tahrir Square, the former site of public beheadings, had become dominated by cafes and restaurants with almost no sign of its bloody past. Saudi Arabia has a criminal justice system based on Sharia. Execution is usually carried out by beheading with a sword, but may occasionally be performed by shooting or firing squad. Sentences are primarily given on confession. Human Rights Watch says the majority of people are tortured to obtain confession and courts have not investigated it. As of April 2020, minors who commit crimes will no longer face execution when they turn 18, and would instead face a maximum of 10 years in juvenile detention facility. Saudi Arabia executed 330 people in 2024, the highest number in decades. Despite de facto ruler Mohammed bin Salman's 2022 assertion that the death penalty had been eliminated except for murder cases under his vision for a new open kingdom. Those executions were mainly related to alleged drug smuggling amid a flood of amphetamine-like Captagon from Syria under ousted President Bashar al-Assad. They also included people charged with non-lethal terrorism, a charge rights groups say is often used against those who have participated in anti-government protests. The total includes more than 100 foreign nationals from the Middle East, Africa and Asia. The Saudi government communications office did not respond to detailed questions from Reuters on the execution figures. After taking power in a palace coup in 2017, MBS faced international censure for cracking down on dissent and for the killing of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi at the kingdom's consulate in Istanbul in 2018. With 330 executions in Saudi Arabia, the experts urged the authorities to conduct a review of judicial decisions against individuals currently on death row with a view to commuting their sentences, in compliance with fair trial requirements and the principles of proportionality, fairness, and justice in sentencing. They also called the Saudi government to adopt without delay the necessary legislative measures to abolish the imposition of the death penalty for crimes that do not involve intentional killing. In any case, there is no evidence of that the death penalty is effective in deterring crime. The experts have previously expressed their concerns about these cases directly to the government of Saudi Arabia and requested the authorities to provide information on provisional measures it has taken to protect the right to life of these foreign nationals. Saudi Arabia's escalating use of the death penalty has reached horrifying levels in 2024, with at least 330 individuals executed as of the 8th of December. The highest known figure in Saudi history. This grim milestone illustrates the Saudi authorities' callous disregard for the right to life, and contradicts their own pledges to limit use of the death penalty. Of the 330 individuals executed so far in 2024, according to data from the official Saudi press agency, 189 were Saudi nationals. The 120 foreign nationals executed were from 14 Asian and African countries. 106 individuals have been executed for drug-related crimes, 81 of whom were foreign nationals. This marks a sharp rise from 2023, which saw just 2 drug-related executions, and confirms the reversal of a short-lived moratorium on executions for such offenses that lasted from January 2021 until November 2022, but was never consolidated in an official change of policy. This regressive trend raises serious concerns for the lives of hundreds of prisoners sentenced to death for drug-related offenses. Such executions are in clear violation of international human rights law, which prohibits use of the death penalty for crimes that do not meet the threshold of the most serious. 46 individuals were executed for terrorism-related offenses, which can include a wide range of non-lethal acts such as taking part in protests. The implausible claim made by the Saudi press agency, that Abdelmajid al-Nimr, a Shia man executed on the 17th of August, had joined a terrorist cell affiliated to al-Qaeda, a charge that did not appear anywhere in the court documents relating to his trial and sentencing, represents a flagrant example of the Saudi authorities' determination to brand legitimate dissent and protest a form of terrorism. Saudi Arabia has for years been among the countries carrying out the highest number of executions in the world. Despite a pledge in 2018 from Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to reduce use of the death penalty, the rate of executions has continued to soar, apart from a relative lull during the coronavirus pandemic. As recently as March 2022, Mohammed bin Salman repeated the commitment to limit use of the death penalty, yet that year saw a record-breaking number of people executed, 196 individuals. In 2023, the authorities carried out at least 172 executions, and the figure for the first 11 months of 2024 is by some distance the highest ever recorded in Saudi history. In the absence of transparency, and with executions sometimes carried out in secret, the real figures may be even higher. Despite repeated promises to limit the use of the death penalty, Saudi authorities have ramped up executions while routinely failing to abide by international fair trial standards and safeguards for defendants. Executions for drug-related crimes soared this year, with 53 carried, with an average of 1 execution every 2 days in July alone, rising from just 2 drug-related executions in 2023. Authorities have also weaponized the death penalty to silence political dissent, punishing citizens from the country's Shia minority who supported anti-government protests between 2011 and 2013. Human rights group Amnesty International, which has been documenting executions in the kingdom since the 1990s, has said the previous highs were 196 in 2022 and 192 in 1995. Convicted drug traffickers made up at least 117 of those put to death last year, the AFP tally showed. There has been a flurry of executions of convicted drug traffickers since the kingdom ended a moratorium on the use of the death penalty for drug offenses 2 years ago. Foreigners made up 129 of the 338 people executed in 2024, another record. They included 25 Yemenis, 24 Pakistanis, 17 Egyptians, 16 Syrians, 14 Nigerians, 13 Jordanians and 7 Ethiopians. In March 2022, Saudi Arabia executed 81 people in a single day for terrorist crimes, sparking international outrage. Only China and Iran executed more people than Saudi Arabia in 2023, according to Amnesty, which has yet to publish its 2024 figures. Saudi Arabia, the world's largest exporter of oil, has faced consistent criticism over its use of the death penalty, which rights groups have condemned as excessive and in marked contrast to the kingdom's efforts to present a modern image to the world. Saudi Arabia has carried out more than 1,000 executions since King Salman bin Abdulaziz came to power in 2015. In light of the alarming scale on which the death penalty is applied in Saudi Arabia, in flagrant disregard for the right to life and contradicting pledges made by the authorities. Thank you for watching Death Row.